What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're going to go through my plans for the week ahead in terms of my trading 2-on-2 portfolio and my thought processes behind it. But before we get into today's video, as always, if you're new around here, please consider subscribing to this channel as we're currently on 311 subscribers and our next goal is to get to 350. So with all that being said, let's dive right into my trading 2-on-2 portfolio. So firstly, as I said on Friday's video, that as the markets were all still going in an upward trajectory and they're all in the green, so we can see here from all my pies, they're all still in the green, for example. So I held off last week when I deposited the €100 and I waited until the market started to drop, which they still haven't done so. So for this week, I've deposited a further €100. So you can see now that our account value overall is just over €3,800. We have 3,600 invested. We have 200 in cash reserve ready for when the market does dip. Our overall portfolio is currently up 5.79% or €197. So as all the markets are still going in an upward trajectory, I don't really want to affect my dollar cost averaging at the moment. So for example, I don't want to buy into, let's say, if I go into my communication services pie, I don't want to buy further into Facebook at the moment as my current position is up about 6%. So that would bring my overall dollar cost averaging up, which would affect my overall profit and loss. And again, I know that as a long-term investor, most of the time you will have to start bringing up your dollar cost average as the markets do develop. But for now, I think as this is only a few weeks into the portfolio, we're in about week 4 at the moment, I want to make sure that I don't increase my dollar cost averaging, as I just said. Second of all, I'm going to this week look through all 13 of my pies and I'm going to see which companies I might want to take out. And for example, in such sectors as the real estate sector, I only have one holding at the moment, so I want to start increasing those kind of pies, and same with materials and my utilities. There's only one in there, so I want to start bumping those up over the coming weeks. So for this week, I'm going to look through my pies to see if I want to remove any of the companies that I'm invested in. And I'm also going to be looking into companies to invest in over the coming weeks, new additions, and also in companies that I'm already invested in if they start to dip. So let's look through my 13 pies briefly and give my thought process behind each of these in terms of adding or removing some companies. So first up, we have our communication services pie. We have 3 holdings in the form of Facebook with a 50% weighting, Walt Disney with a 40% weighting, and AT&T with a 10% weighting. Now in terms of these 3 companies, if I had to remove one, it would be AT&T, and it's not just because it's down about €1.37 at the moment, but it's because their kind of plans for future have changed slightly over the past few weeks and months, hence why I only have a 10% weighting for this company. So in the next few days or weeks, I will be looking into this further in terms of will I be removing this company, or will I just leave it at the 10% weighting, or even maybe bring it down to the 5% and give Walt Disney the extra 5% weighting to bring it up to 45. With our consumer discretionary pie, I'm very happy with the 2 companies we have here at the moment in the form of Tesla with a 50% weighting. We're about 15.3% at the moment, and McDonald's with another 50% weighting, which we are currently up 5.75%. So these 2 companies will definitely be staying in this pie. However, as there's only 2 holdings in the pie at the moment, and overall I want to have about 5 companies per each of my 13 pies in the long run, I am looking to add a new position into this pie, or even 2 positions. So over the coming weeks I will be looking into this also, looking for a kind of blue chip consumer discretionary pie stock. So if you have any suggestions, please comment below and I'll be sure to look into it. Next up is the consumer staples pie. We currently have 3 holdings in the form of Coca-Cola with a 40% weighting, PepsiCo with a 30% weighting, and P&G with a 30% weighting. Again, just like my consumer discretionary pie, I'm very happy with these 3 companies. And at the moment, because a lot of other of my pies only have like 1 company, such as my real estate sector pie, I'm quite happy just to have the 3 companies here at the moment and start to kind of bring up like the real estate pie, the utilities pie, etc. I want to bump those ones up first before I start adding to these kind of pies. But overall, I'm very happy with these 3 companies. In terms of my energy pie, we have the two positions at the moment, ExxonMobil and Chevron, both with 50% weighting. I'm happy enough with these companies at the moment. However, I will be wanting to add in a further one or two positions. And when I do so, they will be in the renewable energy sector that I'll be adding in, as ExxonMobil and Chevron aren't really renewable, as you know. So, as the way forward will definitely be more renewable energy and obviously recycled energy, etc. I want to kind of start incorporating in the future kind of stocks to kind of help hedge my positions in terms of having the old fashioned kind of energy in the form of ExxonMobil and Chevron, and also the way forward in terms of renewable energy. So we'll be looking to companies to add into this position. So next up, we have my ETF pie, and currently, as you know, we just have the one position at the moment in the form of Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. We're currently up about 7.6%, so I'm quite happy with that investment so far. Now, in terms of adding in further ETFs into this pie, I was looking into the Berkshire Hathaway Class B, obviously because Class A is about $370,000 per share, so this pie or portfolio is nowhere near that at the moment. But Class B is about 200 and something dollars a share at the moment, so I might add this in over time. I also might start looking into more European ETFs to kind of put in weightings of about 10% or so, just to help diversify further across the globe. And then also, as the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF that I'm investing at the moment is in pounds, I might start also using my DeGiro account, my broker DeGiro, to start pumping in money into an ETF in this exact same form of the Vanguard S&P 500, but to start using euro, because on the DeGiro broker they have this ETF in euro, whereas they don't on Trading 212. So I'll definitely be considering that as well down the line. In terms of my financial sector pie, I'm quite happy with this at the moment also, and we've reached my 5 holding limit that I want to place on this overall portfolio to have no more than 5 positions per pie. So so far we have Visa, MasterCard, JP Morgan and Chase, Bank of America and Goldman Sachs. And 4 of the 5 currently are in the green, so I'm quite happy with this, and I will not be removing any of these positions, and I'll be keeping the 5 of these for the near future. Next up, we have our healthcare sector pie, and we currently have 3 holdings in the form of Johnson & Johnson, AbbVie and Pfizer. Again, like the financial sector, I'm quite happy with these positions at the moment. And as I said previously as well, as there's already 3 holdings in this pie, I want to start bumping up holdings in such pies as my industrials and materials and utilities pies first, as there's only 1 position in those at the moment. So I'm quite happy just to keep this at the 3 companies at the moment. Next up is the industrial sector, and we just have the 2 holdings here at the moment in the form of 3M and Caterpillar. Caterpillar is currently up over 16%, and 3M is up about 3 or 6.3%. So I'm quite happy with these 2 investments at the moment, and I might be considering adding in a further industrial stock once I do my due diligence on a few companies that I've shortlisted at the moment. So I'm quite happy with those at the moment. So we'll move on to the next portfolio pie in the form of the material sector. And so for the next 2 sector pies in the form of materials, where we have Barrick Gold, and in real estate, where we just have the realty income, although both are in the green at the moment, I still want to add positions into both of these pies, preferably 2 or 3 positions more into each. But at the moment, as this is a long term, maybe over the next week or 2, I might just want to add in 1 further position into the materials pie and 1 further position into the real estate pie. Next up, we have my tech sector companies, and this is my largest pie at the moment with €1,082 currently in this pie. We have Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, and Alphabet Class A or Google. All 4 have a 25% weighting, and I'm very happy with all 4 of these companies at the moment, and I won't be adding in any further companies at the moment, as I don't really see any tech companies add value at the moment, so I'm quite happy just to keep that to 4 of these. Next up is the utility sector pie, and again, just like materials and real estate, utility sector only has waste management at the moment with 100% weighting. So again, I'll want to be adding in at least 1 more company into this pie over the coming weeks. And the final pie is the YouTube pie, and we currently have 4 holdings in this pie. Now, I've mentioned in many previous videos that the YouTube pie is more of a kind of speculative growth pie. So a lot of these positions could rise or fall dramatically over time. And we can even see here that Workhorse is currently down 3.13%. Virgin Galactic is up nearly 19%. Where then we have Diamond Peak or Lordstown Motors, which is down 10%. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum again, we have the Neo, which is currently up 33%. So you can see overall that we're up about 3% in this pie. And these four companies are companies that I mentioned in prior videos that I was going to look into once I did my due diligence. So this is kind of more of an entertainment purposes pie, whereas the other 12 are more blue chip, kind of steady pies. So this is just kind of one for YouTube itself, and for people who have suggestions that put in the comments below. I look into these companies and add in companies. So in one of my prior videos, one of my subscribers suggested that I look into video gaming stocks, so I will be doing that, and I will be adding in one of these video gaming stocks that I find appropriate during the week. So that will bring my current overall holding up to 5 here. So Workhorse is in the electric vehicle sector, Virgin Galactic is in the space sector, Diamond Peak and Neo are both also in the electric vehicle sector. So by adding in a video gaming stock, this will definitely help diversify out this pie even more. So with all that being said, that brings the end to today's video. So today we just went through briefly my thoughts and plans for my portfolio over the next week or two, and also that I've added in a further €100 to have over €200 now in my cash reserve ready to invest if the markets do dip in the coming weeks. And we also went through each of my 13 portfolio pies and my thoughts and plans for each of these over the coming weeks. So if you like this video, please smash that like button, comment below if you have any suggestions on companies I should add in or remove from my overall portfolio, and I will definitely look into that. And also, if you're new around here again, please consider subscribing to this channel, as we're currently on 311 subscribers and would really help the channel out going forward. So thanks very much, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video.